Hello, everyone. It's so good to be with you. If you were able to join us for our last Bible study, this would be a great little review. And hey, if you couldn't make it, no worries at all. This is a perfect way to get caught up on what was a really wonderful discussion.
We started our time together by touching on something I'm pretty sure every single one of us has felt before. You know that feeling when you open up your Bible, especially some parts of the Old Testament, and you're just wrestling with these ideas that are so big, so ancient, and sometimes it's just hard to find that personal connection, right?
And that feeling, that struggle, really brought us to the very heart of our study. This quest that we're all on, to truly know God, even when it feels like a challenge.
So, I asked the room a simple question. Who here sometimes struggles with understanding the Old Testament? And honestly, it wasn't a surprise at all to see so many hands go up. It's one of those things that really connects us, doesn't it? I mean, how can we, with our limited, finite minds, ever expect to fully, completely wrap our heads around an infinite God?
And what's so amazing is that the Bible doesn't shy away from this at all. In fact, it addresses it head on. Right here, in Isaiah chapter 55, God himself tells us, "My thoughts are not your thoughts, my ways are not your ways." His ways are as high as the heavens are above the earth. And that's not meant to discourage us. It's not a criticism of us. It's a beautiful declaration of his awesome, incredible majesty.
Okay, but this is where we had a really wonderful shift in our thinking. It's a game changer, really. See, God isn't demanding that we fully understand him, like he's some math equation to be solved. No, instead, he's inviting us to perceive him, to see him.
And that difference between understanding and perceiving, it's everything. It's the whole ballgame. Because while his thoughts are higher than our thoughts, that doesn't mean he's hidden, not at all. He has put his attributes, his character, on full display for us to see and to experience. It's about letting go of trying to stuff an infinite God into our finite minds. Instead, we just open our eyes, our hearts, our senses to what he has so graciously revealed.
And listen to this. Paul drives this point home so powerfully over in Romans. He basically says, look around. God has not hidden himself. His invisible attributes, things like his eternal power and his divine nature, have been clearly perceived ever since the creation of the world. They're right there in everything that's been made. The most important thing to get here is this. He wants to be known. He has made himself knowable.
All right, so that's the big question then, isn't it? If we're meant to perceive him, well, how? How do we do that? Our study looked at a few of the incredible ways, the pathways, that God himself has provided for us to see him.
First and foremost, we can perceive him through creation. I mean, think about it. The pillar of fire and light guiding Israel through the wilderness. Can you imagine seeing that? Or think of God described as a consuming fire, or the sheer power in the voice of thunder. But it's not always loud, is it? He's also in that still, small voice, that gentle whisper he gave to Elijah. He uses the world he made to show us who he is.
And then there's this other, incredibly personal way he reveals himself, through the language of relationships. He uses these terms that we understand so deeply in our own lives. He describes himself as a father, as a friend, a shepherd who guides us, a king who reigns, even as a husband who loves his people. Every single one of those titles, it's like a different facet of a diamond, giving us another beautiful glimpse into his heart for us.
But that begs the question, why? Why can we even perceive him in these ways? Is it just a coincidence? Absolutely not. It's not an accident. It's actually tied into the very core of our purpose, why we were created from the very beginning.
Listen to what Ephesians tells us. It says, he chose us in him before the foundation of the world. Wow. He predestined us for adoption to be brought into his family as sons and daughters through Jesus Christ. So this wasn't an afterthought. We were made for this relationship. And that relationship, that's the very foundation of our ability to see him, to perceive him.
And that right there is the whole point, isn't it? We can perceive God because we were made in his image. Our ability to form relationships, to see beauty, to feel love, those aren't just random human quirks. No, that's the divine wiring. God built that into us so that we could perceive him, so we could be an expression of his glory in the world. And all of this, all these pathways and perceptions, they all lead to one place. This is really the most glorious truth we talked about. Every single glimpse of God in the Old Testament, every shadow, every relationship, every promise, it was all a crescendo building toward the ultimate, the final, the most perfect revelation of who God is.
And of course, that revelation is a person,
It's Jesus Christ. This is where everything clicks into place. In Jesus, we see God perfectly. It's that simple. If you want to know what God is like, how he loves, how he forgives, what his character is, you look at Jesus. Because as Colossians 1:15 tells us, he is the image of the invisible God.
So all those Old Testament shadows, the shepherd, the king, the husband, they were all like signposts on a long road, and every single one was pointing forward to Jesus. He is a fulfillment of it all. He's what it was all about. And that, my friends, is exactly what we're going to be looking for as we start our journey into Genesis. We're going to see that even from page 1, the whole story is pointing to him.
So as we prepare to open up the book of Genesis together, let's go in with this fresh perspective. Let's make this our goal. With every chapter, with every story, let's be asking ourselves, where can I perceive God's character here? How is this story, this person, this event pointing me toward Jesus? Let's get ready not just to read words on a page, but to truly perceive the heart of the God who wrote them for us.